Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Datta. Today we will start double sideband suppressed carrier DSBSC part 2. In this, we will study about the DSBSC modulators, means which generate the DSBSC wave. There are two modulators, one is balanced, another one is ring modulator. First, we will study about the balanced modulator. So, this is the block diagram of balanced modulator. In this, it has two identical AM modulators. So these two AM modulators are arranged in a balanced configuration so that it suppresses the carrier signal. That's why it is known as balanced modulator, and it suppresses the carrier. That's why DSBSC can generate. Okay, so we will see. Now from the diagram you can say that CT means the same carrier signal is applied to both the AM modulators. Okay, and in upper AM modulator xt is applied, in lower minus xt means xt with opposite polarity is applied. Okay, so the output of upper AM modulator is this, the output of lower AM modulator is this. So to get the DSBSC signal we have to subtract S2T from S1T. Okay, means S2T minus from S1T. So again we can say ST is equal to S1T minus S2T. Subtract it, you will get DSBSC as AC 2MA XT cos omega CT. You can say the standard equation of DSBSC is AC XT cos omega CT. So you can say this is the scaling term which is there 2MA. So in this way we can say that DSBSC can generate through the balance modulator. Okay, so next is about ring modulator. So this is the block diagram of ring modulator. From this you can see that it has four diodes D1, D2, D3 and D4 that are connected in ring structure. That's why it is known as ring modulator. It has two center tap transformer T1 and T2. You can say T1 is audio frequency transformer and T2 is RF transformer, where we get the at the output coil or secondary coil we get the DSBSC output. Okay, we are considering the carrier signal as the square wave signal and it is connected between the center taps of the two transformer. Okay, so we can say for the working operation, okay, we are considering two cases. Means first, without the modulating signal we will see that carrier is suppressed, and with the modulating signal. Okay, so we will take two modes. Mode 1 where there is no modulating signal or message signal, mode 2 where there is modulating signal is there. Okay, so mode 1 carrier suppression, we are considering xt equal to 0 and we apply the carrier only. Okay, as you see in this figure, first we are considering the positive half cycle of carrier. When positive half cycle of carrier is there, obviously you can say D1 and D2 are forward bias and D3 and D4 are reverse bias. So D1 and D2 are on and D3 and D4 are off. So we can observe that the direction of currents flowing through the primary winding of transformer T2 or output of transformer T2 is equal and opposite to each other. You can see here. Okay, these are equal and opposite to each other. So therefore the magnetic field produced by these currents are equal and opposites. So it cancel each other. Okay, so the induced voltage in secondary winding is 0. Okay, so we can say the output is 0. Okay, so first case, when positive half cycle and no modulating signal, the output is 0. Second case, when we are considering the negative half cycle. Okay, when we are considering the negative half cycle, D1 and D2 are reverse biased and D3 and D4 are forward biased. Okay, so again from the figure you can see here the current flowing in the upper and lower half of the primary winding of T2 are again equal and in opposite direction. Again, it cancels the magnetic field. That's why the output voltage is 0 in this case also. So it is important to note here that for both the cases, if there is no modulating signal or zero modulating signal, there is zero output, means your carrier is suppressed. So it is important to note that the perfect cancellation of carrier will take place only when the characteristic of diode are perfectly matched and the center tap is placed exactly at the center of the primary transformer T2. Okay, so now we are considering second mode, mode 2, when there is a modulating signal present or message signal present. Now your xt is not equal to 0. Okay, now both carrier as well as modulating signal are applied. So first case, again positive half cycle of your carrier signal. As we know here, both modulating signal as well as the carrier is applied. So we have the input at the primary of T1 also. Okay, and then in the positive half cycle, same way, D1 and D2 are forward bias and D2 and D3 and D4 are reverse bias. Okay, so we can say that secondary of T1 is applied as it is across the primary of T2. Okay, so from this you can see here, whatever you applied, you will get the output as positive or positive empty. Okay, so if we are taking second case, like if there is negative half cycle of carrier, in this case from the diagram you can see D3 and D4 are forward bias, so on, D1 and D2 are off. So secondary of T1 is applied in reverse manner across the primary of T2. So that's why whatever output is negative, whatever at the input, when carrier is there, then in that case, when negative cycle of carrier is there, output is negative. Okay, you can see. So from the diagram you can see here, when you have this message signal empty as this, okay, and this carrier, square wave carrier is there. Okay, this message signal empty and square wave carrier is there. In that case, when you have positive cycle of CT, your empty is positive. When you have negative cycle of CT, your empty is negative. Okay, your empty is negative. And in this case, when you can see green signals, D1 and D2 are on for green and D3 and D4 are on for the purple. Okay, so you can say this is the DSB at the primary of T2 and this is the DSB-AC signal at secondary of T2. That's it for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you.